YouTube. This is your boy, Red Death Motherfucking Animations, man. Let's get it, yeah! Um, okay, sorry, y'all. Anyway, I hope y'all Sunday is nice. I just came to start a little stream. This stream been on my mind lately. It's been on my mind lately because I just feel like talking about some things that it got nothing to do. It got nothing to do with the channel or nothing to do with the server. None of that shit. It's like a general thing, like a general topic. And yeah, sometimes over the years, a lot of my Discord members they do be asking me like, how the fuck did I get so good at roasting and stuff like that? This is in the past, all that stuff. I'm about to tell y'all how it is, but I mainly want to tell y'all this just 'cause I'm being petty as fuck. Like I'm low key talking shit about people that I currently don't fuck with in my life, but I'm not gonna say their names, none of that shit. I'ma just tell y'all a little story time. I'm not gonna say nobody personal bullshit. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be just a little story time. So you know what I'm saying? Like, comment, and motherfucking subscribe. I'm about to really get this shit popping, y'all. And I hope them niggas watching. I hope them niggas watching. They know who they were. They know who they were. It's no like it's no one. It's no one online. It's no one in my server. None of that shit. It's not no. Nah, not on that other shit. This is a whole different thing altogether. So I'm gonna let y'all know. All right. So how? So like basically how this whole shit started was like basically and also if y'all got questions by the way y'all can always comment that shit whether y'all want to comment after the stream or during the stream. I'll answer all the questions. But yeah, basically how this started was like um dude, when I was little, bro, see, this is not something that people can copy. People can't copy this. This is something that I'm one of them people. I had to find my own way to learn something. You know, I had to find my own way because it was hard to do shit like everybody else. I had to do my own thing and it ended up working. So people can't really copy this formula. But like you could try, but hey, I'm just warning y'all, it's not something for y'all. It's only for me. But right, basically, how it started was, man, as a little ass kid, bro. As a little ass kid, I was a motherfucking troublemaker. Like, I would constantly look for trouble and shit. Why? Because like, I didn't just go around randomly looking for trouble, randomly getting myself in situations. It had nothing to do with that. It was more like if people start with me, I'm always told to ignore, look the other way, bullshit like that. And I know better, but I choose not to do that. I choose to fucking clap back. I choose to do that. Why? I don't know. I don't fully understand it. But when people start with me, I just get pissed. I low key get pissed as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like I'm trying to ignore, but I really want to clap back. You know what I'm saying? Now, it depends on what it is. Petty, petty insults, that's one thing. I be getting mad when people like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like when people, they're just being mean. When people are mean to me for no good reason or whatever, something in me gets pissed the fuck off. I'm telling you. Something in me gets pissed. When I mean pissed, like it's like this slow burning. It's like this slow burn. Like you ever cook some shit and you slowly cook that shit? It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. And it's like part of me, as a kid, part of me knew what these people were trying to do. And that's part of the reason why I got pissed. Because they're starting with me, they're being dicks, and they're looking for a reaction out of me. And I know they are, but I just can't help but give it to them. I just can't help but give them the reaction. And that's what it is. And that's kind of like the source of it all. The main triggers are like the people wouldn't say personal shit because they don't know me like that. but it would be more like it'll be more like let's say I'm playing basketball in the street, right? Street basketball or whatever the fuck y'all call it. You know, like y'all ever went to people's houses, they have a hoop and they have a driveway, those things, right? Let's say I'm playing basketball with the big kids. The big kids are teasing me because they're passing the ball to everyone but me and they're laughing at me. Shit like that get me pissed. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. It's kind of like trolling, but in real life type shit. You know, it's like who the fuck you think you is, nigga, type shit. You know what I'm saying? But um, I'm gonna be real, man. Like, and that's how it started. Uh, and then what? Like the last thing that would fuel my anger towards people like that is when like I clap back and I get in trouble for it. I clap back, I get in trouble for it. The people that started with me when I was a kid, oh, they got let off the hook. I was the main nigga who got in trouble because I responded to the people that made me want to get their ass type shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what it is. That's that's how it started. That's how it started. You know. So imagine getting trolled and then you get in trouble for getting trolled. And like the bad guys win. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, you know. So then now you fast forward to when I get a little older, and this is where the actual roasting start. Cause like how I clapped back when I was a kid, I didn't clap back through roasting. I try to get my get back in other ways. I didn't see like back when I was around that age, when I was a little ass kid. I didn't even know what the fuck roasting was. I didn't know. I didn't get roasted. I didn't get roasted. None of that shit. I didn't know what the fuck roasting was. I knew about roasting when I got a little older, like around two, like 2009, 2010 ish. You know what I'm saying? When I got a little older, I was getting exposed to people roasting each other. You know, maybe I was on a bus, maybe I was hanging out, some shit like that. People would be roasting. This is back when people did like yo mama jokes. Yo mama so fat. Yo head so big. Oh my god, big. You know, like your mama so fat. Like, you know, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck? No, that it was back in those times, like the fucking your mama jokes, and all that shit. And like it was like a fun little activity, and I tried to get in that shit. I was garbage. I tried to do a your mama joke. I was trying to do a fucking your mama joke, a fucking you so fat joke. Dude, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm gonna be real. I'm like, bro, people were getting on me for being garbage too, right? Man, but then like what happened was, well, I remember around this time. See, y'all notice how I embarrassed myself with those trash yo mama jokes and everybody got on my ass? I was starting to get into more embarrassments. Like, I was constantly embarrassing myself doing shit that made me look stupid. Like, when I do those things, I don't realize I look stupid. I'm not aware of what I'm doing. See, in my mind, I'm thinking the shit I'm doing is normal. Like, what's wrong with it? You know, like I'm just existing. But then everybody's laughing, everybody's roasting me and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, I had no idea this was embarrassing. I thought this was cool. You know, I thought this was normal. You know, like let's say you're Asian. Let's say you're Asian, for example. This is a random example, but it's something people get roasted about. let's say you're Asian and you tell people you're Asian and they start laughing at you because you're Asian. If you knew you would get laughed at for saying you're Asian, you probably would have thought twice before telling people you were Asian. You know, unless like you're extremely proud of where you're coming from. But that's besides the point in this example. It's like you're surrounded by Asians in your family, you're surrounded by people and stuff like that. Is all you knew. Then you go to school with people of different ethnicities, and you know people are wondering what are you. You tell them you're Asian, they start laughing. You're just lost. Like, huh? What's so funny? Next day, oh my God, this is when they start roasting your ass for apparent for what's looking to be no reason. Like, what the fuck, you know? Then they bring up how you told them you're Asian. Shit like that. As I was growing up more, shit like that was kind of like examples of stuff that I might get roasted for. Like, let's say I told people I watched anime back then. Because back then, if you watched anime back then, like, you were considered a nerd. You were considered a dork, a geek, or some shit like that. You know, you were kind of considered a fucking lame ass nigga for watching anime and stuff like that. And like, yeah, man. So that's how I embarrassed myself. I was just being myself, and some parts of me people laughed at, you know, and I didn't understand it. I was confused. I didn't feel hurt 'cause I didn't understand it. But the hurt came when I started getting roasted, you know, because it wasn't just getting roasted for it. The jokes people said about me back then were so good, it hurt. It hurt because I was on the receiving end of the good jokes. You know, like if the jokes were garbage, I wouldn't give a fuck. But nah, people like let's say I watch anime, or let's say my shoes are dirty, or or let's say I look like Jimmy Neutron or some shit like that. People will get on my ass. People will be on my dick on that shit. Like, let's say your head is big as Jimmy Neutron, but you thought your Jimmy Neutron head was like normal as fuck. People look at your head, they start dying. Like, bro, what the fuck? I'm about to get on your ass. Some shit like, nah, bruh. So basically, over the years, I would get roasted for shit that I didn't know was embarrassing. I would get roasted by randoms, by friends, etc., etc. But but for some reason around this time as well, my roasting was kind of getting better. And I realized like my roasting was normally garbage because I wasn't used to roasting. But there was plenty of times where I actually out roasted people. No one taught me how to roast. I didn't watch no tutorial. I didn't look this shit up. I basically learned from my environment and use that shit. Normally when I do that, I'm garbage. But there's times where I'm actually good. And like the reason my roasting got better was because like I was slowly starting to hate people. I was slowly starting to be like, because like I I see the good in people. I think everybody's a human being. Everybody is a human being that's worth respecting. You know, that was the kind of thing I had before I knew about roasting and about trolls and stuff like that. You know, but people started showing me how cruel they were. Yes, I was sensitive. I was sensitive to jokes, stuff like that, because it was more like it depended on what you were joking about and how much you were joking about that thing, you know? And like let's say I do something embarrassing and someone makes a joke out of it. Okay, it hurts a little bit, but I'll brush it off. Now imagine like as just for breathing, you're getting roasted every second of the day by people on about the same subject, and they keep on writing your dick for months and shit. Isn't that cruel to y'all? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that a little cruel to y'all? And this was around like I guess middle school era type shit. Like, isn't this a little cruel to y'all? Like, just for existing, you're getting your ass roasted, you know, and the jokes aren't bad. They're actually really good. So why my roasting got better? Yes, I started to hate people. I started to slowly despise people because of how cruel they were. Like, how could you say these things and constantly say them with a smile on your face and then laugh at me? The whole class is laughing at me, stuff like that. So y'all see the connection, right? As a little ass kid, I already was looking for trouble, and it was getting worse as I was getting a little older. So y'all see the parallels. So my inner urge to get my get back on people, I guess I poured that shit into my roasting without even realizing it. I poured it into my roasting and I was getting my get back for what seemingly was no consequence. And but I really got to my peak. Like my peak of roasting is like, okay, level 0 is when I don't give a shit and my jokes are most likely going to be garbage. Level 1 is like, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'll still lose maybe, but I'm doing pretty good. Level 2, I snap. Like, fuck all that. I am pissed. Genuinely, like, I want to rip somebody's head off. That kind of pissed. And I began to develop that kind of level 2 shit. Like, this is when people began to get a little personal with me, saying personal jokes that really cut deep. These things cut deep because of maybe some shit I kind of experienced when I was a little ass kid. I'm not saying they knew what I experienced, but history likes to repeat itself no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing with my life, no matter what. Let's say I'm playing a video game and I have a friend group and I'm dealing with people in a bad way. It might be very similar to how I'm dealing with people in real life. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. And like, so basically the anger came from like, if people keep writing my dick about personal shit. Like, let's say a personal issue is let's say I have an extra toe. I have 6 toes and I'm sensitive about 6 toes. And everybody knows about it. And there's that one nigga that keeps on riding my dick about having an extra toe. I'm gonna snap. I'm I'm gonna snap because like it's so cruel and mean that this person is making fun of my extra toe 24/7. Like, what the fuck did I do to you? You know? What did I do to you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, what the fuck I did to your bitch ass? And like, so I began to despise people. I didn't just walk around hating people all day. I would only have that hatred in me when like people were getting on my ass. That's it. Normally I'm perfectly fine. But when people go overboard, oh, Now if there's somebody that's defending me, sticking up for me, I don't say shit. I don't even get my get back. I'm all right. But half the time, people hardly stick up for me. People hardly defended me. People hardly did these things and stuff like that. You know? And that only made me angrier because I don't get it. How can people sit around looking at somebody get clowned like that? You're not even gonna tell the person to chill out and back off. You're not gonna roast that person, maybe. You're just gonna let that person say what they're saying to me and I have to do things for myself. You're not even gonna show some kind of charity, you know. That only made me think of how cruel people are even more. That only made my anger pop out even more. I use that anger to get on people's asses for what is seemingly because how I tried to cope was like I would bitch and complain. I would tell people, why y'all doing this? Why y'all doing this? This is me. Everybody would tell me, stop, hey man, stop acting like a little bitch. Stop acting like a little bitch, man. Man up. Stop acting like a little bitch. Okay, so I man the fuck up and I fucking got their ass. I got on their ass because if I don't, who will? Because how can I possibly ignore that shit? If it was petty insults, like let's say I'm playing basketball and my form is ass, petty insults like that don't bother me that much. It's the insults that kind of like come for my very existence. Those insults gets me the most. And they make me snap. They make me motherfucking snap. Um and there were consequences for me bitching and complaining. So I had to stop that shit. When I roasted back, there weren't any consequences at first. Keyword at first. What happened was I didn't just match people's energies, I surpassed their energies. It was to the point where teachers were telling me to back off. It was to the point where fucking people want to fight me. People want to go against me. I was going so overboard and shit like that. Everybody was going against me even though I didn't start shit. I remember during middle school, I began rapping. I began learning how to rap. You know what I'm saying? And every time some like at some point, this isn't during the entire middle school experience. It was just during like one of the years maybe, right? If somebody messed with me and I got mad enough, I would first roast their ass really bad, really crisply, and then I wasn't satisfied. I got so mad I wasn't satisfied with a simple roast session. Nigga, I made a diss track. I rapped on people. I fucking snapped on a beat, bro. I rapped on people and made sure everybody heard that shit. And I made sure the diss tracks were funny. I was trying to be comedic on them shits. I was putting my roasting in the raps. I was trying to be really good, you know. People were dying. People were dying of laughter. I thought I got this person, etc., etc. And that that shit put me in a whole lot of trouble, and everything like that put me in a whole lot of trouble. And I'm just like, damn, you know. But then all the people that ever got on me, they didn't get in trouble. They didn't get a talking to. They didn't get suspended. No, they didn't do none of that. I did. I did. Because I felt like I was the victim. When you're the victim and there's no one to protect you, you protect your damn self. The problem is, you protect yourself and you end up getting in trouble for that shit. That only fueled my hatred even more. See, the teachers, they try to teach me a lesson about that shit. They were trying to tell me how I'm wrong, and to an extent, I understand what they're saying. But at the same time, what other way is there? If they got roasted the way I did, they wouldn't be saying half the shit that they were saying. I see what they were saying, but if that's how they want to talk to me, it's not gonna get through to me. I'm gonna get even more hot headed, more hard headed, more stubborn, and I'm gonna get even more hateful. Because I hate the fact that people are so cruel, but they want to get on me for being cruel. That's bullshit. Fuck that. Suck my motherfucking dick, nigga. And notice how this shit was many years ago. And I'm still like this. I don't give a fuck if I am. I really don't give a fuck. If there were people defending me the same way they would defend the other person I made a fucking diss track on or some shit like that. And then like back to the diss track shit, right? There was a certain point back when I got in trouble. There was a certain point where the people that okay, you know, the authorities would tell me that they think that they're not laughing with the diss track. They're laughing at the diss track. Like they're laughing at me for making that shit. And I probably got it misconstrued. And if that was true, that only fueled my hatred even more. You know? That only fueled my hatred even more. There was like, you shouldn't be making these diss tracks. How do you think the person feels? They could they could they can delete themselves. They can fall into depression. They can fucking do this shit. I don't give a fuck. What about me? What about me? How do you think they made me feel when they said certain things about me? But oh, if I say something, I'm the problem. Suck my motherfucking dick. Suck my dick and suck it good, bitch. I don't give a flying fuck. I told them this. I told the people, the authorities, oh my God, they do the same shit to me. They were just like, ignore them, laugh it off, ignore them, laugh it off. Tell them that if they're laughing it off, nobody's gonna be deleting themselves. Nobody's gonna be falling into depression. Like, tell me why when I made those diss tracks, right? People's parents were reporting me to the school, to the authorities. Why didn't they laugh it off? Man, fuck that shit. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter if I'm in a school or I'm in a server or I'm in a video game. Everybody is telling me the same shit. They don't even know my life, but everybody is like, it feels like some spirit is possessing the same types of people. And it doesn't matter if I'm in Timbuktu. It doesn't matter if I'm in Japan. It doesn't matter if I'm in motherfucking Australia. If people start with me and I clap back, I'm the only one that gets criticized. It doesn't matter where I'm at. People are people. It doesn't matter where the fuck you're at. You can be in motherfucking China. You you can be in Sudan. They all say the same shit. I'm always the problem. Man, fuck that shit. Let me give y'all a current example. Y'all see that nigga, the teen from North Georgia. That nigga is getting on my channel talking about some, I'm doing this video, I'm doing this inappropriate video, this, that, and the third. Nigga, you're harassing a fucking, you're harassing people. You're harassing me. You're harassing other people. I go on your booty ass, irrelevant ass YouTube channel. All your community posts are you talking shit about people. But you want to get mad when I do some, when I say some. You want to get mad when I make a video that you can easily ignore. And this is the R. Elsagate community. You represent that shit. What the fuck? Y'all doing the same shit y'all accusing this nigga doing. What the fuck? All my life, I've been dealing with people just like Teen. I've been dealing with people just like the teen from North Georgia. It doesn't matter who it is. And only a small minority of people actually do defend me in roast sessions and in conflicts. And I'm very thankful for that minority. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful. You know, and even then, right? And even then, right? Part of that small minority slowly does turn against me, and they become the very people that they defended, which also fueled my hatred for people even more. Boom, bam, boom. Right? Let me get more into detail about something else too. This is as far as like, middle school shit went. And don't worry, y'all. This dark story has a bright side, but it's towards the end. So if you really want to, don't feel so bad for me if you do, because there's a bright side to all this. It's just I had to figure this shit out when I got a little older. And trust me, the bright side got nothing to do with motherfucking ignoring people, being the bigger person. Man, fuck that shit. It got nothing to do with that, but I'm gonna get to that. So let me get to this, right? So in the middle of this, right? When I was way younger, right? Remember how I knew about roasting around 2009, 2010-ish, right? I remember around that time, I made a good friend. Look, I won't say his name, but we went to school together, man. He was a longtime friend. We went to school together. And, like, all we did, dude, we would always fool around. We would always do shit like draw, make comics. Because I began drawing around that time as well. I love cartoons, all that shit, anime. I did my own shit, as y'all can see with my content. They all started over 10 years ago, right? Me and my friend, he was one of the people that actually supported what I was doing. He really supported what the fuck I was doing and stuff like that. And basically, he was a really good, loyal friend. But, here's what happened with this, right? It's more like, and me and him, see, and don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm completely innocent when it comes to this roasting shit. I'm saying, like, people should be able to handle a joke. Don't be a bitch. People should be able to handle a joke. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. Don't be a snowflake. Nobody is safe. The problem is when people keep riding your dick. That's when it's a problem. When people keep riding your dick about some shit. Like, damn, nigga, I get it, man. I got 6 toes. I get it, man. Get off my motherfucking dick. You feel what I'm saying? So okay, so back to this, right? We did all this good shit. Um, and we were friends. See, how do I word this? Okay, it's like 2010 ish, right? We were friends for several years, but it was like a few years into the friendship, we added more friends and formed a group. But what happened is, right, around like the middle school time, we another friend was included. This is like the third friend. The third friend. And at first, I'm not gonna say nobody's name. At first, he was really chill. He was really chill. He was really chill. And just like the two of us, he did a lot of art. He drew stuff like that. You know, his drawings were very cool. His drawings, he drew like monstrous drawings, like horrifying looking drawings that look really good. I drew more human like stuff, and the other one, uh, he did some DC Marvel shit. I don't know, but he could draw too. We all could draw. We all had common interests. We were all very chill. We were all very chill. But what happened was another guy, another guy was included into the group, and I actually knew this guy. I actually knew this guy. Um, Years before that, but I'm saying around middle school, he was included into the group. And this guy was like a roasting god. Like, this guy was probably some of the best roasters I ever seen. And his jokes were fucking crazy. And guess what? Bro, he was one of them. Like, y'all know niggas like DC Young Fly and them? This guy was kind of like that. All this nigga did was roast. And guess what? And guess what? He got on me the most because I was the most roastable. Like, I would get roasted by this nigga just for existing. And there were times where there were times where I didn't just let him roast me, but every time I tried to clap back, like I failed. Why? It was more like I just couldn't find anything to roast. I just couldn't find anything to get on. Cause this guy, pause, this guy, you know, he always wore designer. He was better looking than me. He got more girls than me. I didn't know anything embarrassing about this guy. I genuinely, I mean, there were certain things I knew, but it's not like embarrassing, but it's like everybody takes L's and he's no different. Like, he had this really hot girlfriend, and then and then for some reason they broke up, and he was sad for a whole day. And that was one of the rare days this guy never roasted nobody. Because yes, he didn't just roast me. This guy roasted everybody. Everybody wanted to roast his ass because he kept getting on him. Nobody was able to just successfully roast this nigga. He was too good. He was too fucking good. I never seen anybody beat him in a roast session. He was just that good. But like there was one random day that nigga his girlfriend broke up with him and he was sad for a whole day. He didn't say not one word. Everybody was making him feel better. I could have used that against him in a roast session, but dude, I had boundaries. I had boundaries back then. Now I don't. If if you try me, it's fuck you and your family. But back then, man, I had boundaries, bro. Nobody wanted to roast a nigga's ex-girlfriend like that. Like, that's fucked up. I had boundaries and shit. I'm not gonna do none of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But basically, right? And like, bro, Me and him roasted many times. I would always lose that shit. But y'all remember the diss tracks and all that? That was around the time I kind of started getting better with roasting him. Like basically around the time I made my diss tracks, my ego was getting fed because everybody was praising him. Everybody was laughing. Everybody was praising me, stuff like that. And the guy that I kept telling y'all he likes to roast, right? That nigga tried to roast me and put me on Snapchat. And like, I wasn't having it. I wasn't having it. So I was roasting him on social media. I didn't make it this track. I was going to. No. I wasn't going to. What happened was I challenged that guy into a rap battle. Why? Because around the time I was starting to rap, he was one of the people that actually knew how to freestyle as well, and he was way better than me. It was like he's been rapping longer than I have. So, but by the time I challenged him to a rap battle, my rapping skills improved tremendously. So I felt confident enough to rap battle this nigga. And what happened was I was waiting, and he actually came to me when I challenged him. But what happened was it just turned into a roast session. I thought we were gonna rap. He came with his peoples, and his peoples was trying to back him off. Like they didn't want to see us fight. Every time, see, people were trying to break us up because they didn't want to see us conflict and beef. I just wanted a rap battle. He came to me, started flaming, roasting, and I was roasting back. But then he had to go, etc., etc. And I called him a Lego brick head ass, and everybody was dying of laughter, stuff like that. And I know this part of the story is a little long winded, but bear with me. I'm about to make it all circle right, all back on itself. Basically, what happened was, um, right? How this beef, like how that beef even came to flourish it was about a year or two before that. I don't know what grade it was, sixth, seventh, eighth. There was a time where I now I remember. There was a time where okay, one thing I hate is when people like roast me in front of a female. It's one thing to roast me in general, which I don't like. If you roast me in front of a female, I'm snapping on you. Or I'm gonna warn you, don't do that shit again. I don't care if I like the female or not. I don't know why. I don't fully get it. I just don't like it when people roast me in front of women, in front of girls. I don't like that shit. It feels like my manlyhood is getting tested. Like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? You're not gonna talk to me in front of this girl. But what happened was, this was the first offense. So I pulled the guy to the side the next day when we were in the classroom. I pulled the guy to the side and I was like, yo, man, boy to boy, can you chill with that roasting shit, bruh? Can you chill with that shit? Like, I told it to him in a very nice and respectful way. The guy said he stopped. He calmly said, okay, he'll stop. That nigga couldn't even last 24 hours before he got back in the roast to me. And then, so that didn't work. Months later, right? What happened was there was an incident that had nothing to do with me at first. It got nothing to do with me. But basically, y'all remember how I said this guy, he roasts everybody. But I was one of the main people he roasted. Well, what happened was he was roasting one of the three friends that I told you already. There's the friend I knew, since 2010 ish. Then then a new friend was included around middle schoolish. That new friend, he was getting roasted for some random reason. It had nothing to do with me, you know. I just randomly saw the guy getting roasted in the classroom, and he was getting annoyed. What happened was, I guess, how like one of the jokes involved the roasting guy touching him in a weird way. What happened was, after that, he got annoyed as fuck and they started fighting. He threw the first punch on the guy that I said is roasting. He threw the first punch, but then the roasting guy, he swang back and he won that fight. He won that fight. Then they went to the principal's office, and I guess they got in trouble or some shit. I don't know. But then what happened was, this is where I'm in the picture. What happened was, I wanted me and my friend from 2010ish, we wanted to see if the guy was okay. And this is when we had Google Plus. There was this thing called Google Plus where it was kind of like social media. It was kind of like Instagram and Facebook, but like it was Google Plus, right? Or whatever. But basically, like, that's how he texted, you know. Cause back, yeah, this is definitely, yeah, Google Plus, and like, I was trying to tell this guy, like, I was basically, I felt like I was proven right. Everybody was calling me a bitch for complaining about getting roasted so much, and this guy went ahead and fought over a roast session, over a little roast. He's doing the same thing that people accused me of doing. Even he accused me of doing, even though I didn't fight, but I complained. That was my way of expressing myself. That's better than fighting, breaking school rules and shit. And like, basically, um, but what happened was, that guy, he went against me. He started standing up to me, roasting me, saying all kinds of shit to me, and I wasn't having it. I wasn't having it. And what happened was, my other friend that I told y'all, 2010 ish, my other friend defended him. He defended him even though I was proven right. So y'all see the pattern? I almost never get defended, even if I deserve it. And even if I didn't deserve it, if you're my friend, you're supposed to defend me in public and then criticize me in private. I knew this nigga longer than the other guy did, yet he defended him. And this guy never defended me. This 2010 friend never defended me ever. I've never seen him laugh at my jokes. A lot of people, when I roast good, a lot of people laugh at my jokes. I don't remember this guy laughing at my jokes. So what happened was, I cut both of them off. I dropped them. I dropped them, and I didn't miss them. I didn't miss them, but what happened was, um, months later, I guess we were cool again, but only because, like, from what I remember, they didn't come crawling back. They didn't come apologizing. It wasn't that. It was more like, I just I let go. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't have it in me to be mad anymore. If they were bothering me more, if they were getting on my ass still, I probably would have kept them away. But I don't know. As soon as I dropped them, I didn't see all that rah rah. I didn't see all that. Ha ha ha, a key. I didn't see none of that. And I, whatever anger I felt towards them, I didn't feel it anymore. I didn't have that energy anymore. That doesn't mean that I crawled back. It wasn't that. It was more like we just slowly started talking again. We just slowly started talking again, basically. And that's basically what it was there. And then, like, fast forward. Now, this is where I brought up the diss tracks and then me doing the rap battle with the roasting guy and stuff like that. Um, and I got in trouble for it because that was the last straw. After that supposed rap battle, somebody snitched on me. Somebody told. I thought it was him, but apparently it wasn't. Somebody told on me, and I got in trouble for making music about people. All that shit, all that shit only fueled my anger even more. Now, fast forward, uh, high school, stuff like that. There was a lot more that happened in high school, but with other people. The friends that I had throughout, elementary and middle, they kind of, they kind of, they kind of chilled out or anything like that. But all I know is during that diss track period, right? Whenever people got on me, oh, I didn't hear no defense. Everybody laughing at me, and guess what? My so-called friends was one of them. Was one of them. And then what happened was throughout high school, though, man, I I guess they were more chill in high school. They kind of matured in high school and stuff like that. And plus, um, I had my own friend group. They had their own friend groups, so we weren't that much like, you know, yeah, we weren't like that. But we still talked and whatnot. Um, but I will say some good things though. I will say this: they weren't completely bad. I'm gonna just keep it 100. They weren't completely bad. There's times where they might have gave me advice on girls, or if I got into a fight. There's times where they they I wouldn't say defended me, but they made sure I was okay. And they said some things about the people that fought me. Some bad things about them, of course. You know, there were times where they were being good friends, but overall, man, like looking back, bruh, like they were kind of fake, bruh. They were just fake, like, and it wasn't just them. A lot of people are fake as fuck. They're not really your friends. It's not just about me. A lot of people deal with this shit. And then this is like the last phase before I end the stream. And don't worry, I'm still gonna talk about the bright side, right? But basically, like, okay, I'm sure. Okay, okay. Where do I start with this? Okay. So, like, I'm sure y'all know. I'm sure y'all know, like Andrew Tate and right? How like Andrew Tate slowly got popular and whatnot. Well, for years, y'all know something like this. Something about me saying this before, but for years, I've been kind of like on social media. I've been constantly kind of promoting that kind of stuff, the Andrew Tate stuff. all the other stuff like that. And for this part, for okay, for this part, mainly, excuse me, for this part, mainly remember the two friends, right? The one from 2010 and then the other one from middle school, right? Just remember them. So basically, what happened was like, there was this other person who wasn't really a friend, just a guy that I've known that, we go way back. We go back to middle school. We just weren't friends. But this guy, he didn't like what I posted. He was one of those white knight guys. He was one of those white knight guys, and like, um, basically, like he would try to convince me that what I'm posting is wrong and stuff like that. And but it was the way he did it too. Like he was kind of clowning me, talking shit. But he also said he was worried about me. He didn't like what I was changing into, what I was becoming, stuff like that. He wouldn't let me know that women were oppressed and stuff like that, and yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really like what I stood for. He hated Andrew Tate. He hated a lot of other stuff that is surrounded by Andrew Tate, stuff like that. He was one of those white knights and things like that. We constantly argued and whatnot. See, now look, people are fake, right? This same guy in middle school, he was a flimsy little dork. He was a flimsy, nerdy looking dork. And then as we grew up, okay, this guy got some muscle on him and he has a girlfriend and things like that. You know, his life kind of, I guess it kind of upgraded. He got a job and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? But basically, what happened was, as we argued, right? I was trying to be respectful. I was trying to be respectful, but I was also like, basically, I kind of realized he was a simp. Like, it wasn't just me insulting him. No, I was going by the actual definition of a simp. And he kind of admitted to being a simp because simps are people that put women on pedestals. This guy openly admitted that he did the same shit. So I so basically what happened was, respectfully, I put two and two together. I'm like, okay, you got a girlfriend and you defend women a lot and you just admitted to putting women on pedestals. I put two and two together, and he got offended because he didn't like if I was mentioning his girlfriend. Because it's kind of like a common rule, like you don't go after the girlfriend. It's man to man. The girlfriend got nothing to do with it. He's right, but I wasn't going after nobody. I was making a point, but in order to actually connect that point, I had to mention his girl. I didn't mean to be disrespectful and stuff like that. He took a lot of offense to it. He took a lot of offense to it. But he just kept on getting on me and roasting me because of my views, like my views on things. Remember, he don't like what I post. He don't get on me and whatnot. He was roasting me, he was talking shit. Basically, over the years, he's seen me complain about middle school shit. And he's been trying to tell me all these years, for like throughout all of high school, this same guy's been constantly trying to tell me, like, let go of that shit. It's over. He even told me he was one of the people that got roasted in middle school as well. We went to the same middle school, right? He was one of the people that told me that people like he was telling me, he was urging me to just get over it and stuff like that. Things happen, move on and do better with your life, stuff like that. You know. And but then he became the very people that clowned him. He was doing the same thing to me. He was clowning me too as well. So what happened was I was trying to be respectful some more. I was trying to be respectful, and I made another point at some point. And like it involved his girlfriend again. And this guy, dude, he wanted to fight. He wanted to do all this shit. He wanted to do that. And I defended myself. I was standing my ground. I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm not apologizing for shit. You made fun of me, so I'm gonna say what I gotta say back. This guy started being all understanding and apologizing for his outburst. Like this guy, like I don't know if he's bipolar or some shit. Cause during our arguments lasted months. By the way, our arguments lasted months. But this guy, he would constantly clown me, and then when I check his ass, he would constantly apologize. So it's kind of like tug of war. You know, at one point, this nigga's clowning me. The next point, he's apologizing because like when he apologizes to me, it's after I basically out argue this guy when it comes to Andrew Tate stuff and stuff like that. Like he was trying to change my views. He was trying to turn me into a white knight, defend women all day, put women on a pedestal. Man, fuck that. And I would constantly out argue this guy, and then he would apologize to me and stuff like that. But then this guy would then flip back into talking about, I don't like what you post, man. All you do is post about women all day and talking down. I'm like, bro, I don't talk about nobody, bro. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, I out argued this guy so much. Eventually, he just stopped DMing me and whatnot. But then what happened was, oh nah, it's a live stream. I'm just going over some shit, but yeah, it's still live, bro. It's still live. I'm almost done too, by the way. I'm almost done. I'm 62 minutes in. Damn, it's really been over an hour, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, bro. So like basically what happened was like so back to the story. So like literally, oh my god. Okay, so after that, right, the guy stopped DMing me. And after that, I was just going back to my regularly scheduled programming, posting shit on my Instagram, right? My personal one, not the one y'all know. I got many accounts for many different purposes, you know. But basically, on one of my accounts, I posted. So basically, and I look at the views. I look at the views to see who's watching. And I noticed months later, like I would say a couple months later, no, a month later, right? This is like last year, by the way. But a month later, like I'm seeing new names on my views. I'm seeing new names, and like you know how on Instagram you press somebody's profile and it shows you who follows them. Like if you follow somebody and they follow you back, if y'all share a mutual follow account or a mutual shit, it tells you. But basically, I saw the guy's name on all these accounts. The guy I was arguing with, the guy I've known since middle school, who kind of started switching up, right? I noticed this guy. So then, in my brain, I realized he talked about me, didn't he? He talked about me. Niggas lurking on my shit. I know he talked about me, and I already knew he was bad. I probably mentioned his girlfriend, and I mentioned how he a simp. You know, I already knew what was going to happen. I was just waiting on it, bruh. I was just waiting on it. So then a month later, no. So then during that same time period, right? Y'all wouldn't believe this. The guy that I was arguing with, he unfollowed me on Instagram. But then check this. Now, see, look. Now y'all know the two guys that were my friends for a very long time. One of them I was friends with since 2010. The other one I was friends with years later, right? They both unfollowed me. The one that I've known since 2010, he blocked me. The other one just unfollowed me. And then the one that I was arguing with unfollowed me too. So y'all see the pattern, right? Y'all see the pattern. Like, I knew them niggas was fake. I knew, and you see how, see, our DMs was private. Yet, by sheer coincidence, random names that are connected to this one person on a follow type shit, and then two friends that I known for a while, right? We were chill in high school. We didn't fight in high school. We were chill, but I kind of knew they were fake. I just couldn't make them crawl back to me. They're like, let me describe these two guys, right? These two quote unquote friends I had. They're very quiet. Like, they're very vocal to each other and to a small circle of people, me included. But they also are the kind of people, they love to laugh at people behind their backs, whether it be me or just random people outside of their little bubble. Hell, they even laugh at people in the bubble, my bad. They laugh at everybody. Like, they'll be on Xbox. They'll be on Xbox talking shit about people behind people's backs. In them little chat rooms, them little gaming consoles, PS4, Xbox, whatever the fuck y'all niggas got. Know what I'm saying? And basically, I know I'm all over the place, but speaking of Xbox, right? Y'all remember when I made, I talked about the parts where I made diss tracks, right? Well, I remember it, like, bro, in the beginning of high school, the guy that I said loves roasting, he'd tell me that every time I dropped a song, there's this chat on Xbox, and then there's this group chat on Instagram. They be low key laughing at me behind my back and shit. And guess who's in those group chats? And guess who's in those Xbox live chat, whatever the fuck they call them hoes? My quote unquote friend from 2010, my friend from years later, and the friend that that was arguing with me. And guess what? I mean, and there were other people, but they weren't really my friends. They were just people I knew. They never say they were my friends at all. But guess what? Remember. Now we're back to the present. Last year, all three of them motherfuckers unfollowed me at the same time. And I was watching. They didn't know. They didn't know. Hell, I felt like they knew bro. I felt like them niggas knew I was watching. Why? Because y'all know how I mentioned I post a lot on that page, right? Well, I low key sneak this them because there was this post by this random big, like, this huge account that has all these quotes. Justin LeBoy. So Justin LeBoy had this post, and I put it on my story, and I was like, so like the post was talking about how people love talking about people behind their backs and shit like that, right? And I was like, so then I put it on my story. I was like, yeah, and niggas love to talk shit in group chats behind someone's back. So I was low key sneak dissing them. Weeks later, they unfollowed me, all three of them. That's why I feel like they kind of knew I was onto them, and they ditched. They fucking, bruh, they shook. Know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but and then y'all wouldn't believe this. Y'all wouldn't believe this, right? A month later, a month later, y'all remember how I began seeing random names on my story views, right? Um, And those names were kind of connected to the guy I was arguing with that unfollowed me, right? A month later at the time, all the people, they somehow knew that I thought that, me and the guy was arguing. And they were specifically on the part, they were specifically on the point where I kept on bringing up his girlfriend. They just didn't like that shit. They didn't like how I involved the girlfriend in our little arguments. Cause normally, when you're arguing with a guy, you're not supposed to just bring his girl into it. It's a man to man thing. And they're completely right. But when I did it, I didn't mean no disrespect. It was taken the wrong way, but I didn't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? I actually did. It's just in order for me to make certain points, I have to include certain people because then the points won't make any sense. How can this person know what the fuck I'm talking about if I don't mention who I'm talking about? Like what? Like so like so then these guys they were offering these guys were okay. At first, one of them approached me in a very nice, respectful manner, telling me they know all this stuff, and he was requesting that me and the guy box. Me and the guy arguing, he was requesting me boxed. And I was more surprised that this guy was telling people our business. So then the guy, he thought I was gonna get mad, so he tried to calm me down by putting me into a group chat. He put me into a group chat full of all the random names that I talked about before. They all were like, they all were like, I'm gonna put 500. I bet 500 on y'all boxing. Y'all should box. I'll bet 500 on that shit. The other guy was like, I'm gonna bet 300. Other guy was like, bro, I'm gonna bet 400 on some shits. Things like that. This, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bro, what? Y'all didn't let me like what? So then what happened was they were like most of them were trying to argue with me and roast me. Boy, I was clapping back easily because their jokes weren't that good. So it was easy for me to do my thing. Basically, what happened was they also included the guy I was arguing with, right? Just remember, we stopped arguing at some point and we stopped talking for months. They pulled this guy into the GC and told him everything about the boxing match. And I was telling this guy why you telling these niggas your business? These are your friends. You call these guys your friends, and they're making you do stuff like this. So then, the guy I was arguing with, he apologized for everything. He was like, yes, yes, I talked about you, and I know I shouldn't have done that. Look, you said some dumb things, I said some dumb things, but it's a new day. We're never gonna agree on certain things. I'm sorry for how I talked to you. This, that, and the third. It's a new day. I'm gonna let go of this stuff. I don't like you. I hate you and everything you stand for. But it's a new day. I got a job. I got a girlfriend. Stuff like that. Yada, yada, yada. You know? And, so he apologized. He didn't want to box. He wanted to box first, but he's just like, nah, bruh. Like, yeah. So, a basic rundown of that whole thing. We argued. Him and my fake friends unfollowed me. Then a month later, he's sorry that he ever talked about our business to the group chat. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? And I hope by some miraculous coincidence, all them people, especially the two friends that I used to have, y'all see it. I hope y'all see this. And, right? I hope y'all see this. And let me just say this. To the 2010 friend that unfollowed me last year, dude, that's why on your Instagram, all you talk about is being depressed. How you black and act like a motherfucking emo? Oh my god, I'm depressed as fuck. Shut your little bitch ass up. If you're gonna sneak diss me and try to make fun of what Andrew Tate be saying by posting some, because bruh, like at some point this guy sneak dissed me first. That's why I told y'all I sneak dissed them. Cause he did the same thing first. He was, because there was this TikTok and this guy was making fun of what NJ was saying. Cause like the TikTok was saying in a mocking way, like, oh my god, I can do all the cheating I want, but if my girl cheats, she's out the door. Like he was basically mocking it. It was he was throwing shot. That story he posted, that TikTok he posted on his story was just throwing shots at me. So I threw shots back. He think I don't know, but I know. And if y'all somehow find my channel and somehow find this live stream one day, I hope y'all do. And if y'all do, I want to let you know, 2010 friend, you're a depressed bitch. And I know why you're depressed, because I've been around you a lot. All you do is post depressing bullshit on your Instagram. Let me tell you why you're depressed. Let me tell you why you defend women all day. You're a white knight too. How you black and depressed? You're a white knight too. Let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. I remember in middle school we had to do this damn project and shit, and we had to go meet up somewhere. And bro, when I saw his bro, oh my god. So basically, this guy has an older sister and a younger brother and stuff like that. And he has a very strict father and a very nice mother and whatnot. But that strict father, that nigga is very intimidating. He's very intimidating. Like holy fucking shit. He's very he's very intimidating. Like fuck, man. You know? Like imagine if that was my father, bruh. I would be depressed too. Nigga, I would be depressed too. What the fuck? The fuck? Oh my god. Like, bro. Oh my god, bro. You respect women so much. Why the fuck your girlfriend left you during high school? Why the fuck? Why the fuck she left your ass? I thought you respected women so much. You talk about defending women all day. Why hasn't a woman cured your depression? Why why hasn't any woman made you feel happy in your life? Shut your little bitch ass up. You're just projecting your little family drama onto me, onto women, onto whatever the fuck Andrew Tate be saying. You just project, project, project. Step out of your motherfucking bubble, bitch. Not everything's about your little family, nigga. All that shit. All that roasting you did in middle school, in fucking elementary school, you never did a joke on me before. You never did. If anything, there's times where in elementary, bruh, I had to check you and you were crying like a bitch. You were crying like a bitch. People were telling me I'm mean and shit. Middle school, oh, you had all the jokes in the world. We had all the jokes in the world, motherfucker. Let me tell y'all why I had all the jokes in the world. Because y'all remember the guy I kept saying he loves to roast? As soon as he began roasting me, it's like it's like this other guy, the guy from 2010, right? The friend of 2010, he was roasting me too. It's like this guy's roasting was contagious. That was one of the biggest problems I had with the guy that loves to roast. His roasting is very contagious. It was like back in middle school, this guy would get on me, and then it would influence everyone around him to roast me as well, including my quote unquote friends. That's why I eventually snapped on that nigga. In high school is when this roasting guy began to change in a good way, I guess. Good and bad way. He was slowly roasting less and less, right? But then he dropped out of high school. He dropped out for some reason. I think he got his GED. I don't know. I don't know. But man, oof. All I know is I known, bro, my 2010 friend, I've known that nigga since 2010. I know his personality. But ever since the roasting guy roasted me a lot, my 2010 friend's attitude changed. His personality changed. And you wanna know why he blocked me? You wanna know why my 2010 friend blocked me last year? It's because all that shit I was talking last year, his little roasting friend couldn't save him no more. Because back in middle school, every time I roasted this nigga, the roasting guy would swoop into the rescue and defend him, and I couldn't do shit about it because his jokes were that good. High school came, a lot of things changed. My roasting got better. That roasting guy dropped out of high school. He doing his thing. You didn't have no one to rescue your little pussy depressed ass, you fucking emo black bitch. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Nobody could swoop in to protect you and roast me and embarrass me. You had no one to serve me justice. You had no one to thwart my evil scheme. Because you couldn't do it. You're too shy. You're too quiet. You're too reserved. All you do is laugh at people on Xbox all day with your little bitch ass other friend. All you do is laugh at people on Xbox. And like you respect women so much. You respect women so much. Why the fuck in ninth grade, you know, she wanted to log into your Snap. I mean, no, like, no. She wanted to get into your phone and log into her Snap, right? And she left the shit on, and you got your phone back, and you saw her camera roll in the Snapchat, and her nudes was on that shit. Tell me why you downloaded that shit and secretly sent them to me and watched them with me. I thought you respected women. Why are you exchanging nudes without consent? I thought you respected women. Fuck out of here, you fuck nigga. Fuck out of here. Depressed bitch, you do a lot of shit behind people's backs. Then when they clap back, when nobody comes to your rescue, you cry like a little bitch. And you're the older brother in your family and you're crying like a bitch like that. What does your little brother think about that? Your older sister had to come to your little rescue back in elementary school when I checked your bitch ass. Cause you're a bitch. No woman will respect your bitch ass. And I hope you see this shit. You know where the fuck I'm at. Fuck is going on with this fuck ass nigga. You know you ain't gonna do shit. And to the other guy that I used to be friends with starting middle school, you swang on that last week. You swang on that roasting guy and you got your ass beat. Trust me, if you had ever in high school or at any point, if you swung on me like that, I would have done your ass worse than the other guy. That's probably why he didn't do shit. I roasted you more than he did. There were times, dude, most of the time you beat me in roast sessions because you were influenced by this guy. But there's times where I snapped on your ass and I out roasted you. Why didn't you swing on me? I look, bro. Why didn't you? Why? Why didn't you beat my ass, pussy? I wish you would. I really wished you would have done that shit to me back then. I would have fucked you up on camera, bitch. And I hope you see this shit one day. Bitch ass nigga. Fake ass niggas laughing on fucking Xbox and shit. All them people, all them people that laughed at me on Xbox, on Instagram back in middle school, we went to the same high school. They ain't say shit to me. They wanted a handshake out of me. They didn't say this shit to my face because they're pussy as fuck. That's part of the reason why I didn't like them niggas in middle school. They did all that rah-rah. They did all that trolling on the internet. In person, hey, how's your day? Man, fuck you, nigga. You live in a gated community, nigga. Fuck out of here, fake ass fuck niggas. And I don't regret those diss tracks. And if I wanted to, I'd do more. I'll do it again if I have to. Fuck ass niggas. I don't give a fuck if I was in seventh, sixth grade, or if I'm in college. I don't give a fuck. I don't regret none of that shit. Y'all deserved it. Pussy fucktards. There's a lot more details, but I'm not gonna get into it. Details that make me look good, but I don't gotta say it. Y'all already know how these people's characters are. Now let me get to the light end of the tunnel. The much awaited light end of the tunnel. Well, okay, what I had to learn throughout all these years was looking for trouble isn't the answer, and fighting fire with fire isn't the answer neither. I had to find a way to get my justice on people that start with me without getting in trouble myself. And don't worry, guys, I already found that way. It took a while, but I found the way. And it was ironically from dealing with females that try to get under my skin. But you can't hit no female, you can't fight a female. I had to find other ways to deal with that shit without consequence. And that's exactly what I try to do. And thanks to all that, guys, I already found my way. I'm just saying, guys, that was just how I learned how to be so good at roasting. Y'all see these videos and all that. It's just me. It's just me putting all my experience because roasting is fun. Roasting is a fun little sport. You with your boys, y'all crack some jokes. It's cool. Just don't ride each other's dicks. You know, the TKO is the embodiment of that shit. That's how I got all this stuff from. It's from all these things I experienced in my life. you know. Anyways, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe, and Discord link in the description. If y'all got questions and y'all haven't chatted on them yet, this stream will be public, y'all, and there's gonna be a comment section. So check it out. All right. Peace and love.